Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakrash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, meaning He is, He exists, He to be. Ba'in Hadar Sham name, Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son, meaning He delivered, He saves, Chakrash, Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that dwell, peace and blessings to the elect of the nation Israel. Alright, back at it again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, lesson is edifying. I'm the brother Adawan. Just getting straight to it through the spirit. This is another edition of Left Hand Tactics. Okay. Tactics of the left hand. And just to put it plainly, man, Eve, okay, and what I mean by Eve, I'm talking about these women. Women are truly agents of Satan, man. Now, I will say this, there are some virtuous women out there who are striving to do right in the sight of Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai. So this lesson doesn't apply to those women, to you sisters, okay? But for women in the world, and a lot of women who have Jezebel-like spirits, lustful, promiscuous, succubus spirits. This lesson is about you. Okay? Or you women who want to be feminists, who don't want to just be equal to the man, you want to be above the man. Ultimately this lesson is towards wicked women who are out of order. Alright, for the sisters who are striving to do right in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, this lesson is not applying to you. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I proceed. And now that we've established that point, Satan uses Eve, man. And it's really one of the oldest tricks in the book. Even pursuing back to the book of Genesis. Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Alright? What was the reason behind Adam's fall? The woman. And what happened? The serpent went to Eve first. Then passed the message on to Adam. Because the serpent couldn't just come directly to Adam because Adam was already on beat. He already knew the serpent himself was a red flag, so to speak. So it's the same thing with these demons, man. Coming direct is like, nah, you off. Now, when you get your woman to come through and soften you up, right? And if you're weak to her, which is ultimately the problem. If you're weak to the woman and her influence and her femininity, you allow it to dictate the pace. She's just going to lead you right along to the path of destruction. She's just going to lead you right back to the clutches of Satan, man. And that's why the Lord cursed Adam, because he said, look, because you hearken to the voice of your wife, hey, this is the judgment, man. Hey, because remember the scriptures say how Adam was not deceived. Woman being deceived was in the transgression. So these women, okay, as smart as they think they are, they're just as reprobate, for lack of better words. Because Eve definitely does have a sense of intuition and discernment, but at the same time, they lack decision-making skills, and then there are some Eves that, they understand certain things, they got, it seems as if they got the game figured out. pressure on them, man, they gonna crack, man. All right, they gonna crack out the gate, man. And that's just what it is, you know. And that's what it is for most of these women. Okay. And Eve, low-key wants to be naive, man. And they resonate with satanic shit, man. And that's just the facts, man. Alright, with all emotions aside, it's just the facts, man. And regardless, the fact of the matter is that a number one tactic Satan uses to get the man is to send a woman. Even niggas in the world, they rap about this stuff all the time, about how they'll go and set a woman up to go and send them against one of their ops to set them up, man. You know, you got niggas constantly rapping about how they sent a woman to set up one of their ops, man. And the only reason why they're able to catch this nigga is because he's weak to the woman. Here it is, you don't know this bitch from a can of paint, hole in the wall. You know, you don't know who sent her. But if she come around and she show interest, quote unquote, oh, it's up after that, right? All of a sudden, you know, no scrutiny, no nothing. You just fully give yourself away to her. And you thinking that you scoring, oh man, you know, she with it, man. She, you know, she this, she that. She trying to go to the crib, or she trying to do this, she trying to do that. It's like, bro, okay. You thinking you winning. Whole time you don't even know, man. She just an agent. And the fact that you so caught up in your lust is why she was able to snatch you up so quick, man. But you don't know that the dead, alright, are in her chambers, man. Many mighty men have fallen by her, you know, as scriptures say. Now, we understand that can apply to false doctrines and philosophies, because those are likened unto women. But even with a lot of these modern women, it applies to them too, man, in a literal sense, man. And there's a lot of women out there that are just not fucking right, bro. They are not right at all. And all the signs point to it. All the signs point to it, man. You know, but Jake be like, man, she look good. She thick. Look at her tits, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Nigga. That's how they bait you. You know what I'm saying? What do you expect? Do you expect the enemy to lure you in through things that you'll naturally resist, or things that'll make you drop your guard, man? You gotta be mindful of the shit that disarms you. That's why a lot of times when somebody's being fake, they smiling, they talking all nice, saying smooth words, but it's all a deceit, man. So it's the same thing with the woman. Her beauty, her femininity, her curves is meant to weaken you. And if you don't have control over your spirit, of your lust, you give in every time. A lot of chicks know they getting played, still allow it. Jacob know, like, man, I can't deal with this woman, man. I get, you know, but because they so weak to that woman, man, and to the box, and to their rod, and their desires, ultimately, you know, they just give in, man. You know, and there was a quote, I think it was by one of the U.S. presidents, but he basically said, like, a lot of men think that they're buying pleasure, but really they're selling themselves to it. All right, really they're selling themselves, man, to that pleasure. That's why the scriptures say, myself over to a light woman. Because that's ultimately what you're doing. You're giving yourself over. Okay? You're giving yourself over to it, man. You know? And you just gotta be mindful of this, man. You gotta be mindful of just Eve and her whims, because Satan, what he does is before Satan comes for you directly, he sends the woman to break you down. You know, and I've seen this happen on multiple occasions. Okay? And I've had 2 dreams, really more than that. But, you know, I've had a couple dreams specifically, okay, that where it was like a demonic attack in the dream. Before the demon manifested itself, it sent the woman first, bro. Literally. Okay, one dream I had, I was like in an alleyway. I was by myself. I did a lesson on this too. And I'm in the alleyway, and I look back, and I'm in the alleyway by myself, and I'm like, you know, I knew the Spirit of the Lord was with me, but I was like by myself. I was like, I looked back, I said, nah. I was like, I need to get the fuck away. Like, I need to get the fuck inside. I'm out here outside, vulnerable and shit, all by myself. Got my back turned to the danger, like, nah, what's going on? So when I turned around, I seen 2 people walking down the alleyway. I was like, see, that's the Spirit. Guess who was the first person walking down the alleyway? Eve. Fucking Eve. Then guess who was the second person walking behind Eve? Like a goddamn assembly line. In the distance, it appeared to be a tranny. So it had the appearance of an Eve, but when it got up close, it was a fucking demon. Literally, it was a demon in the form of a tranny, man. The shit was demonic as fuck. I said, oh, hell no. But in a dream, the Lord gave me the discernment. I'm like, I'm in the alleyway right now, and there's an Eve walking first, then the demon behind her. I'm like, nah. Fuck that bitch. You know? Like, this is just a decoy to catch the prey. And even Esau, Edom, you know, he's known to be a cunning hunter, right? Even Esau, when Esau hunts like deer and other animals, what they'll do to catch the animal off guard is that a lot of times they put the bait out there via food and all that other shit, right? But sometimes another trick Esau would do is that Esau will mimic a mating call of the female counterpart of the animal. Okay? Esau will literally like make a noise to mimic the mating call, and then the animal will look up thinking it's like a potential mate. And next thing you know, bam! Nigga get dropped, nigga get clipped with a gunshot or an arrow, man. You know? And it's like, damn. All because you thought it was a potential mate. Whole time Satan was behind that, man. This shit is real, man. You could write this off. You could write it off and say, oh, you know, you tripping, bro. And this, that, and the third. You go ahead. Go follow your own way then, nigga. Go ahead. Do your own thing till you fucking find out that this shit ain't no fucking joke. And Eve is being used. Eve is being weaponized out here, man. So keep playing games like shit is sweet. Go ahead. Figure it out for yourself then. But Eve is being weaponized by the left hand, bro. And this shit is even happening in real life. And in the second dream I had, I was in like a boxing gym. And I was like, man, I want to spar, you know. I'm like, man, I was excited. I'm trying to spar. then this one demon that was like basically in the form of like a person, but it was really a demon. You know, he was like, oh, okay, go get your gear, go get your gear, go get your gear. Trying to like rush me into a fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about Satan and these demons. They peer pressure you. They try to pressure you. They try to make you move with haste instead of being calculated. They try to overwhelm you. And as I'm going, I'm running back to the car to go get my gear. This fucking demon decided to follow me outside, running behind me. And I'm running. And the next thing you know, in like the peripheral vision of my eye, I see the demon getting ready to like smite me in the back, you know, but in secret. And I turned around scarcely, and I fucking slapped the demon in the face with a white cloth. And I literally said in a dream, I was like, don't fucking play with me, bitch. You know? I literally said that in a dream. I was like, don't fuck with me, bitch. Like some shit like that. You know, because you can't be all soft with these demons, man. You gotta fucking roar with they ass, man. Satan ain't out here playing games with us, man. And a lot of Jake think this shit is a game. You really think it's a game, but it's not. But then the demon was like smiling in my face, like, oh, okay, I see you. But basically, the shit wasn't done. So next thing you know, as I'm continuing to run to the car to go get my gear, Satan sends a fucking woman, bro. And the bitch got curves, you know, like according to the flesh, you know, she was decent. But I already knew what time it was. So I looked past her. I literally looked past her. And then I looked back at the demon like, really, nigga? Like, you sent this bitch to come, like, distract me, bro? I was like, nah, fuck that. You know, so Tawadi Bashmashai. So it's like, that right there let me know, like, bro, Eve really is being weaponized out here, bro. And then I got a personal testimony, too, recently, man, when I've been in the gym working out. There's one Eve in there, bro, and I actually knew her from a jit. Like, well, we down here in Florida, we say jit, as in like a young person. But when I was young, I've known this girl since I was young, right? And, you know, she's attractive. You know, she looked good. But, man, she got demons on her, bro. This bitch got demons on her, bro. So when I first seen her in a while, I seen her in the gym, and I'm looking at her pants. All I seen her was like her backside and her pants, bro. When I seen the pants she was wearing, I was like, oh yeah, she on the hunt. I said, this bitch on the hunt, man. Because the pants she was wearing was like real tight. And it had like a white outline around her ass. So like, basically it's like you focus on her ass. I'm like, nah. Eve out here on the hunt, bro. She trying to catch somebody slipping. Then long story short, when she finally turned around and I looked her in the eyes, bro, her eyes was dark. I'm talking about like you could see this bitch got legions on her. I'm like, damn, that shit scared me. So then she conveniently decides to come stretch right in my area. And you know when Eve be stretching, Eve bending their ass over, spreading their legs, doing all that extra shit, man. But I'm not paying that shit no mind. I'm like, nah, I already know what time this is, bro. And I already know this girl from a jit, so she's fucking, but even from back then, she was known for being promiscuous, sleeping around with a lot of niggas, so Satan took her ass over, bro. Cause like, man, she just looks gone, bro. That's the only way I can really explain it. Like, the outside look good, but the eyes tell it all, man. The eyes tell it all. So anyways, like I said, she decides to come stretch around me and shit. And I'm like, nah. So as I'm working out on a dip machine, I walked away for a second in between my set. And this bitch comes, literally, she gets up. Satan makes this bitch get up, and she stood right on the dip machine that I'm working out on. I'm like, bro, you clearly see I'm working out right here. Like, you just want to set yourself up in position to try to get me to notice you. she comes stand right on the dip machine and she's like swinging her leg, like basically like if anybody's ever ran track before, you know how track runners warm up, they like hold on to a fence or something that's stable and they swing their leg to warm up their legs. So she's swinging her legs around on a dip machine and I'm like, bruh, I'm like, nah, I already know this is a test through the spirit. I'm like, I already know this is a test, you know. And I was just watching. I ain't immediately go back because she's standing on the station, so I'm just watching her like, okay, let's see if she goes away. Clearly she didn't fucking go away. So now I'm like walking up to her and I didn't even say shit. I just pointed at the machine like, yeah, I'm working out here. I like the way she looked when I made the gesture like I'm working out here, bro. It looked like she quote unquote snapped out of it. Like it looked like she was like hypnotized, and then she just like snapped out of it, and then she was like, oh no, as in like, oh no, I'm not working out here, and just like fled. I was like, what the fuck? That shit was weird. Then she lingered around for a little bit longer, and then she finally left. I was like, nah, that shit crazy, dog. So then, granted, that's funny, bro. Sign says eyes forward. Real shit. Let's just say a wise man's eyes are in his head. You know, you gotta be circumspect out here. Real shit, bro. You gotta be able to see ahead, man. Especially when dealing with Eve. And you're getting caught up with looking at these women. You know, that shit, it comes with a price, bro. Okay, what you're trading, every time you look at a woman, what you're trading is your energy. Whether you want to believe it or not. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to find a woman attractive. But be conscious about it, man. Because you just constantly looking at a woman like, man, look at her, she look good, da. That shit is slowly but surely leaking your energy away, draining your energy. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, that's on you. But it's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. Okay? And when you learn to have discipline with your eyes, you gain more energy in your spirit, man. Okay? I'm not sure of the science behind it, but I know it's true. I know it's true. Okay? And I'm not saying you could never look at a woman. All right? Obviously, you know, that's you know, obviously you can, but just know what the cost is, man, because everything is an exchange, man. Everything is checks and balances. Everything is cause and effect, give and take, man. So where you spend your energy one place, you're taking away the resources from the next. But long story short, I just recently again ran into that same Eve, and she was outside at the gym talking to this one nigga. Lord knows who the fuck he is. But as she's talking to him, mid-conversation while she's talking to this dude, I'm walking past her to like get back to where I needed to go. And man, this bitch looked at me, bro, and I looked at her, and like, it looked like she was trying to pierce into my soul, bro. Her eyes were so dark, but they had like a sparkle in it, and the vibe felt so weird. Felt so weird, bro. Felt like really like insidious and just off. Vibe felt off as hell. And I was like, nah. Bitch trying to take a nigga, man. Got me fucked up. And like her gaze was just like, just piercing, you know? And after the fact that I looked at her, bro, I was like, nah, I felt weird in my spirit, because it was just like a whole bunch of confusion that came out. I was like, nah, this bitch ain't right, bro. Bitch is not right. Just staring at me. Trying to like fucking, like Satan was like really using this bitch, man. So, point of the matter is that I'm trying to make is just, Eve is a pawn in Satan's chessboard, man. Alright, because that vibe was so creepy, the way the bitch was looking at me. I was like, ugh, get the fuck away from me. You know? And she looked good too. But her spirit is just, ugh. You know, and I don't even really mean to be disrespecting her like that, but it's the fucking truth. The bitch ain't right, bro. The bitch ain't right, bro. Alright? You know, and after the fact that shit happened, I had to like pray to the Lord to recalibrate my spirit, because that shit was just a bunch of confusion, man. You know? Shit was nasty. Nasty word. Okay, and I know in my facial expression that I was like showing discomfort, you know, because I was like, nah, my face, after the fact that when we stopped looking at each other, I could feel it in my face that I just felt disgusted. I was like, nah, bro. And you know what the vibe felt like? The vibe felt like it was like a spider web. Like it felt like the woman just like weaving a web and try to catch a man as an insect so she could fucking devour them, man. You know? That shit was through. That shit was fucking through. Okay. But, you know, this isn't rocket science. You know, and I'm sure a lot of brothers know this already. But through the spirit, Eve is a pawn in Satan's chessboard. Be mindful with these women, man. And I found the quote. This is by Benjamin Franklin. It says, "Many a man thinks he is buying pleasure when he is really selling himself to it." Yeah. So you're selling yourself to these pleasures, man. All right. Selling yourself to these pleasures out here, man. You giving yourself over to these things. So you got to be mindful of what you're giving yourself over into. If it's truly worth your energy. You know? And most of these women are not. Most of these women, they ain't gonna do shit for you. But bring diseases and drama. And that's just the sad reality, man. Now granted, there are some virtuous women out there. And shout out to them sisters, man. But a lot of these women just ain't fucking right. So know who you're dealing with. But that's really the point. Lord Will's lesson was edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Chakradash. Double honors to the apostles and others, great most and every well, peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom, Abba, Kwame, Shalom.